Hello everyone, it's Cleo here, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the My Little Pony Winter Wishday special, also known as the Chapter 3 of Make Your Mark. The story opens with ponies being, well, Christmassy, while a song presumably being sung by Pip plays over the scenes. I thought to myself immediately, why is Pip singing about the Pegasi when the footage scene is exclusively of the Earth ponies in Maritime Bay? I don't really know why they did that, but they did. The Pegasi holiday is also called Wishentine's Day, and oh god, why? As a side note, Hitch is such a camp dork now that he's definitely not the same dude from the film. Oh god, the unicorn named Wishy Hoof is even worse. Sunny is so desperate to have all the ponies with her all the time. They literally all have plans with their own family, and she won't let them have that, or even just tag along with one of them. No, it all has to be according to her plans, specifically. Every detail. Anyway, because everyone's families live too far apart to see them all in one day, they need a miracle, since there are no established long-distance transport methods in this world whatsoever. Conveniently, Izzy and Zip have this hunk of junk. But that isn't nutty enough, so out of the blue, and powered by butt magic, we present to you our latest toy coming to a Walmart near you. How the private jet is powered by magic, we don't know. It's just an old tram cart. Actually, as another side note, why do they need trams in Maritime Bay? It's absolutely tiny. Waiting for a tram would surely take longer than just walking to your destination. Anyhow, with their engineering miracle, they take off. Zip is doing a deliberate copy of the things a pilot says on a commercial flight, but how does she know this is what pilots say if they don't exist in Pony World? But really, why didn't any of them just tell Sunny to join in with Hitch this wishy, starry time day? What did Sunny do before? Who spends Christmas Day over 4 separate locations? They start singing very briefly, and while they all sing nicely, sure, Izzy's singing voice sounds like a completely different person, even though it actually isn't. They make it to Grandma Figgy's cottage, and let me just say that these ponies are way too excited just for going to a friend's Nan's house. Hitch insists that his granny is very traditional about the totally not Christmas activities, but it's actually him being sentimental about his childhood. Which I feel is pretty accurate. That's how everybody gets about grandparents' house. The best part about this film is probably the joke of the endless pictures of Hitch at Granny's house, also a very accurate moment. Granny says it's snowing for the first time in her life in Maritime Bay, which doesn't seem important, but it actually is, which I'm actually really happy to say. Another side note, all the ponies we know seem to have precious little family. No wonder we don't see anyone in the towns. They clearly have a really badly aging population. They all do everything Hitch wants them to, and among other things, it turns out all the ponies are master gingerbread housemakers. They should make the Great Pony Bake Off. In the short time spent there in the film, Hitch switches from calling Figgy Granny, Gran, and Grandma, and I have never known anyone to do this. You pick a name and you stick with it. That is a relatable point taken off. Before they can do much more, they have to ditch Granny to get on with their vast itinerary. All the rushing around is literally just out of pity for Sunny being the only one who has no life outside of the friend group. She's so bossy for what? Also, why didn't they go to Granny's last on the trip? Since that apparently is much closer to Sunny's place. The group make it to Bridlewood with ease. Yes, we're actually leaving Maritime Bay. It actually happened. The lighting is as dodgy here as it is back in Maritime Bay, but we're used to that by now. What we're not used to is this snowman. Who is responsible for it? Oh god, there's more. This one is me. Izzy wants to put a not Christmas decoration on the not Christmas tree, but before she does that, she spots Alphabettle and makes a bet with him for no reason. She offers her bauble and says that if he can beat her in charades, he wins it. She doesn't have anything to win from it herself. What the what? Anyway, he wins, but it turns out Izzy made 2? I guess in preparation for her inevitable loss. Again, what the what? The unicorns all say Frosty Shivers as one would usually say Merry Christmas, and I thought to myself, why is Frosty Shivers a happy greeting? It turns out there is a reason for that, so I'm happy to say that my barb here doesn't work. We take a detour from the rushing around to listen to these poet ponies. They genuinely seem to be a parody of people who are on something. I mean, surely that's not what they intended, but I mean, look at them. The time comes for the unicorns to light up their crystal with their magic. If the crystal lighting is magical and traditional, how do they even still have the tradition? What did they do all the generations they didn't have magic? Because these ponies are a few straws short of a hay bale, they take their plane into a blizzard. Things actually look dangerous for once in this series, and just as the turbulence becomes too much, Izzy just makes up some magic and it works. That seems to be the rule for this series. If you can imagine it, it can happen. So they make it very safely to Zephyr Heights. Also badly lit, but hey-ho, it's better than just being at the beach. The sisters are expected to go shopping with their mum, and their friends just get left behind. You'd think you'd go shopping before the Not Christmas Day, but okay. Although the girls keep rushing their poor unloved mum, they have a scheduled time to get to the show, so what's the point of going faster? Surely the show wouldn't have to be delayed. Damn, these sisters really do show such disdain for their adoring mother. Although she is stupid enough to say shopping is a marathon and not a race. Marathon is a race. The writers clearly meant it's a marathon, not a sprint, but being the wishy hoof day heads they are, they forgot that. Meanwhile, these three ponies had the nerve to be disappointed about not having presents, despite the fact that they didn't bring any for anyone themselves. It's time for the sisters to do their show, and I like the stage. Since when does Zip join in with the pop star routine, though? Me watching this special. The princesses say they had no idea there was 6 acts in the show. How did they have no idea there was 6 acts when they had to rehearse for it? It's a full singing and dancing routine. Sunny really needs a life. She has ruined everyone's Christmas by making them all feel bad for her for not having one. I know that's not supposed to be the point of the film, and you're definitely not supposed to see it that way, and I've mentioned it more than once, but it's what I kept thinking the whole time anyway. They can't make it back to Sunny's place in time for her shooting star thing, and they're all sad, but oh god, the lantern grants wishes now for no reason. Zip works out the unicorns are actually casting a spell with the phrase frosty shivers without realising it. The book from earlier indicates that they made up a spell a long time ago to make it snow for not Christmas, and since then it's just become a tradition. Okay, well, the frosty shivers explanation is quite cute, and for once actually has some kind of storytelling logic to it. Maybe that's why some random words are banned in Unicorn Land. I just wish that they could use the better ideas like this one and build more of a mystery around it rather than just the random bits and pieces all throughout this film. And finally, I think they would probably have been able to see that massive star from just about anywhere. This special isn't great, just in case you thought that I thought it was. It's slow and quite poorly written. The animation is always quite lacking in the series, but even if we put that front entirely down to a lack of budget, being a good writer is the same cost as being a bad one. However, everything's goodness is relative, and relative to the previous chapters of Make Your Mark, I have to firmly put this one in first place. It's got many of the same flaws, but this is relatively fast-paced compared to the previous outings. So in a lot of ways, I'd say it's probably half good, the storyline, but more importantly than all of my thoughts, I would love to know what all of you thought to it. Please don't forget to let me know in the comments below if you have any particular opinions on it, or what you think's going to happen next, or what should have happened. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.